Don't forget to subscribe and to hit the bell to get our latest notifications.
With me, and I am very happy to have you, is Jean-Marc Pontroué, the CEO of Panerai. Jean-Marc, where are you?
Hello, Alexander, and hello, everybody. Where I'm in Geneva, where I'm living, and I am at my home, where it's at the same time my office since now close to a month.
So you are at home. You're not in the offices of any Richemont building, or so you're really home.
Well, we have a rule which says that you have to choose which building you are entitled to go. But if I choose a manufacturer, I can go to my office, which is not in the same area. So I've decided to go to my office once a week. I go more or less a couple of hours.
I am based in Vienna, so it's nice to see each other through video. It's strange,
for sure. Because the first time we have this exercise after 20 years, where you came to visit us in our office to discover the novelties, is the first time it happens.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah? How does it feel? You are like me, someone who uses quite a lot an airplane and is quite traveling a lot. How is the feeling? Are you?
Well, I think the first time in my life where for the last 6 months I haven't been in any plane, staying at home, taking more time. I think this period is incredible because we have never been used about deceleration. We have always been used about accelerating, developing new projects, finding new opportunities. On this exercise, we all have to live on. Same for you, which consists to say, okay, we reduce the speed, deaccelerate, we absorb everyday news to try how to navigate in that new environmental context. Is an exercise which is extremely challenging because very new. We don't have any parameter, where we know how to handle the situation. So we discover every day.
And Panerai is active. Your watchmakers are, I think, working, but half of them or two teams that never meet.
Yes.
And, some way like this.
From the very beginning of the crisis, where we have followed the Swiss regulations, which consists to have half of the teams at home, half of the team in the manufacturer where you are, but they have to wear all the masks, gel, you name it, plus being 1 meter away from each other. But we had to close the manufacturer a couple of weeks ago. We were closed now since 2 weeks, so we restart next week to reproduce, to do the prototypes, because our prototypes for 2020 are not yet on, since they were supposed to be delivered for the Watches and Wonders brick and mortar operation. So the countries are waiting for their samples impatiently now. So we have to reopen.
I see. And organizing through Zoom, Skype, and all these things, you get used to. It works. It seems so.
Well, these are my two best friends, like for you, Zoom and Skype, and organizing meetings. Now we are used, of course. Well, in Panerai we have 3 locations. We have Neuchâtel, we have our operation headquarters in Geneva, and we have our design center in Milano. So we are already pretty used not to be all in the same location. So computers, Zoom, taking decisions without having to physically always meet has been part of the brand approach. And we export out of Switzerland 95% of what we are doing. So we are with our markets every day. So the principle of having in our offices possibilities to communicate by all the modern networks are part of the company approach since so many years.
Mm-hmm. I get used to it. I always try to be close to you, to the CEOs, to those who make the watches, to the watchmakers, designers. I always try. Really, I miss my planes and my airports.
To come to Geneva, yes. I'm sure. Well, of course, it doesn't replace the contact. Seeing products, especially the most frustrating one is seeing products, and of course seeing people. Despite Zoom allows us to see many people, you don't have the same relationship with the screens and when you have indirect. But okay, we know it's for a limited time. We know it's for the good cause. So it's why we understand why we have to do it.
Jean-Marc, the intention of meeting you today was, of course, that you run me quickly through the novelties of Panerai 2020. And I'm curious. I just received a couple of days ago by download links from your servers, the data. I have seen some of the watches, but I have not yet had, let's say, the boss talking to me, explaining me the watches.
Why?
So
The logic, the rationale.
yes, I'm very curious to listen now, and I would say the stage is yours. So enjoy, give us all the details, and tell
All the secrets
Yeah, you
of
open
the year
it.
2020.
It will stay in between us and you until I release it on YouTube. For the moment,
I know. Well, for the time being, the beauty of the year 2019 was all about submersible. This line, which became in Panerai a standalone line for which we have developed materials, experiences, an assortment, which has proven to be a very successful one last year. 2020 is all about Luminor. So, and it was for us very important when we took the decision about 18 months ago to stage Luminor as the brand never has given a chance to Luminor to be so staged, being the unique center point of what we're going to do in 2020. We have developed a certain number of innovations for which most of them will be launched in 2020, because at Panerai we have decided to still continue to tell stories, to bring innovations in our network in 2020. So 2019 was submersible, 2020 will be Luminor.
yes. Which will be the watch you want to start with? So I will click.
Part of the concept we are having, we have decided to put under the umbrella of Luminor a couple of directions which all the fan of Panerai, of the communities of Panerai, the Paneristi, the collectors know very well. The highlight is, first of all, if you have to remember one number, is the 1312. Everybody at Panerai knows this number, which is not, by the way, in what you have received, Alexander, because we have developed from the 1312, which is the emblematic, known 44 millimeter Panerai that everybody knows. And from this model, which was existing in steel, we have decided to develop many versions, which are either B materials, precious metal, partnerships, new warranty dates, and so on and so on. A lot of fireworks of innovations based on this historical model. On this year, it's an homage to 1950, which has been the year where the Luminor took all its power, because for the first time we were replacing the Radiomir Pasteur by this luminescence. The first year where the case was imposed for once forever, that the indexes 9, 12, 6 was recognized a small second at 9 o'clock. So all these ingredients, the safety lock system, all these ingredients which makes a Panerai will be highlighted in 2020.
Wow. So I expect a lot of brightness in terms of also brightness when it is dark.
Greenish. You'll see the greenish, and you have told me you saw it in the movie. You know, our movies will be signed with a lot of green, which is the color of Panerai by essence, which will be the signature of the brand for this year. It's to have one message for the 1 year to come.
Good. Which of the?
So, if you want to start by the one which is the continuity of what we have started, is the partnership with Luna Rossa. So yes. You know this partnership for America's Cup that we initiated a year ago, which is supporting the team of Prada and Pirelli on making sure that the Italians are part of the one, if not the one, to gain the victory in March 21 in Auckland. And so thanks to the partnership we have with them, we discover more and more materials. And this year we bring this model, which is again a model which is reusing some materials made for the Luna Rossa boat, and for which we have the dials made with the sails. So we will have a couple of activities. And this is one of the 4 models you see, but we will have an assortment dedicated to Luna Rossa. including one model which will bring an experience, because Panerai is dedicated more than ever to continue its experience concept, which is an association of one unique event to a limited edition that we are keeping only for a couple of our existing or new customers.
Can we just recap quickly? Last year you started the concept. You had, I think, 4 experiences. There was one with the Italian special team, military.
Special team, exactly.
You had
one which was with Guillaume Néry in Tahiti. We had one we had to cancel because it was a North Pole with Mike Horn, which was supposed to be in April now, early April of this month, but we were forbidden to take off from Switzerland and even more to land in Norway. So we have delayed it to October. So the one of this year is delayed. We have 3 experiences this year, not 4, 3 experiences, and one has been delayed to October.
Okay, see.
This year, we are going to have, again, Mike Horn with the one of the products I will show you in a minute, which is a skeleted tourbillon. We will have the America's Cup in Auckland, where we will invite 36 customers to be part of the event.
So continuing what you'd started last year, and I heard with a lot of success, even if it was criticized, people said, okay, why do I have to buy an event to get a watch or to buy the watch to get to an event? But it seems that people like it. Oh, you read on social media and you read on comments, but in the end, it's not what they are saying is important. It's what your customers said, and I think the customers were happy. And as far as I know, all the events were booked out quickly, and those who participated.
Well, at the end, the key story on that is to make sure your story on your program is strong enough, and that the limited edition is a true limited edition. So when we did the Marina Militare, it was only 33 pieces. When we did Guillaume Néry, it was only 15 pieces. So the exclusivity of the product itself, on the fact that we were having experiences, which is really spectacular, on the fact it has worked very well also with a group of people, because we have discovered ourselves how to make it on the partnership we have got with the Marina Militare, who are not used to welcome customers on their platform to train with them. It's not a school. So it was for them also an interesting experience. And the partnership with them, the customers who were there, has worked very well with all the community. So we'll repeat it. I can tell you also with the Marina Militare, we have initiated for the years to come to repeat it again, provided it was supposed to be only a one shot at the beginning. But I have another experience to speak to you, which is the ecological. You know that Panerai has started a year ago this program of protecting the oceans to be environment friendly. We believe at Panerai that we have a share to invest ourselves in initiatives to protect the oceans. Speaking a lot with Mike Horn or to Guillaume Néry, they are informing us about when they dive in some of the most remote areas of the world or exploring some of the most remote areas of the world, they tell us about the deterioration, the regular deterioration, which, by the way, we see every day in the newspapers and the television. So with Mike, we have decided to create a watch which we are reusing as some spare parts of his boat, which is called Pangea. And some of these spare parts has allowed us to develop 5 pieces of a new tourbillon. The first tourbillon skeleted based on a submersible. So this is the only product which is not part of the Luminor offensive. But it's only 5 pieces. And this will allow you to spend time during an experience with Mike in the North Pole. Provided that 30% of the value of this product is made with recycled components. The packaging, the strap, many elements of the habillage are made with recycled elements. And it's part of the project of the brand to be the first one in 2021 to bring the first watch, which will be 100% recycled. So we have in our manufacturer in Neuchâtel 15 people who are working actively to bring the first 100% recycled watch on the as a concept watch in 2021.
Including the movement?
Including the movement.
Wow. So really 100% of recycling
Yes.
materials that have been used before wherever, and
Yes.
bringing them together to build a new watch.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So this is, we are supposed to speak about Watches and Wonders 20, but I already revealed you some of the 21 highlight.
Please talk to me. I'm open if you want to.
Well, because we strongly believe in Panerai that it's part of the really our mission to work on that, and it's not only to make a concept watch; it's to really make it as a principle of work in our company. How we can work in offices which are very much also environment friendly, like we have in Geneva. It's to open stores which are also thought as much more energy friendly, and so on and so on. So it's not only an initiative on products, on packaging. It's an all initiative we have among the all Panerai organization in the world.
Very good. You can also talk about 2022, 23.
No, we have enough in 2020. The next one I want to speak to you is something which is very spectacular. It is, if you see all your pictures, the PAM 1117. And this one was how to highlight the beauty of the luminescence, not only on the indexes and numbers, but also around the watch, in the strap, as a highlight of the safety lock system. So this watch, when you see it in the dark, is really a highlight with all the greenish signature of the brand. On this watch,
I just switched me back in the picture because I'm switching around. You centralized me out of the picture, and I just brought me back to say double thumbs up.
That's good.
It's incredible. I didn't believe what I saw when I saw the picture first. It's amazing. Yeah, very good.
And this watch will allow its customers to have its guarantee extended to 70 years. So this is also one of the highlights.
You're talking about 70? 70.
The idea was to highlight the fact we have 70 years of Luminor this year. But beyond that, it's I proved that the return rate we have on our movement is extremely low, on the lowest to have this type of guarantee up to 70 years. And it's also part of the experiential activities we have with our customers, where we want to give them a maximum of assistance when it comes to our products, so that they can really enjoy without any issues their timepiece.
But it will not prevent them to service the watch from time to time.
Oh, they are invited to do so, and they will have a free access for service up to 2090.
Wow!
So we have not only this watch, but we have 10 references of all our assortment, which will be covered by this 70 years of guarantee, which is of course one of the big highlights of our innovations in 2020. And
these are not limited pieces?
270 pieces.
Okay.
270 pieces, which are limited, which are for our internal and external boutiques.
I see. The gloom of that watch remembers me a little bit of that famous Dom Perignon bottles, in the
yes, it's true. Yes, absolutely, I agree.
When with the black light, when they come in and serve, I must say it's a very nice idea. It's fun, huh? It's why not having such a thing? How intensely will the watch gloom once it is being charged with light?
Well, you have about an hour of this type of luminescence, which you can have in the night. It's a new generation of luminescence we have, in addition to have such a highlight. And we work also a lot on the luminescence power for the future. You'll see in the years to come innovations to keep our leadership on that type of signature.
Yeah, and I imagine it will be the watch that will be worn, in all those fancy places, and will be seen first, because there is no way of hiding it on your wrist.
No, you cannot hide it. It's true. Well, this is how you can use your icon which has been considered today as a classic in the watch industry, on to create this twist, which for just a year allows you to re-highlight what is known by our community of Panerai, of fan of Panerai.
How many different models are going to be in the market? Variations of this 4, or what did you say first? 3, 4? There's one with a blue dial.
No, we have 10 pieces will be
10.
entitled.
Okay.
Will be entitled to get the 70 years of guarantee.
Okay.
On that model, that is this one, which will have this type of finishing. We have about 35 new models this year as innovations for Panerai, which will not be all unveiled at Watches and Wonders, but will be also disclosed during the year. But this one will be one of the 10 SKUs which have the chance to be covered by the 70 years of guarantee.
Very nice, very nice.
The next one is about how to make sure that our iconic model, the so-called 1312, also can be proposed in red gold. Because as curious as it could be, our historical model has never been treated in red gold. And that is the classic of our innovations, because you are able to see that model, which is this 44 millimeter in Goldtech, which is a special gold developed by Panerai. It has a share of copper, a share of different materials, which makes it harder than the usual 18 karat gold.
I just put the picture on my. I just put the picture here on my screen, and it looks very. It looks like a 6N, not 5N, but 6N gold. It's very. Let's say. It's reddish. Yeah. Is it true, or is it?
So no. So I think the picture or the computer or I don't know, the electricity in Vienna makes it more bright. But no. It's a more discreet red gold that it probably looks on your computer. The idea is how you make it a classic for the next 50 years.
For me, it looks very nice because it is very, very
bright. Okay.
Not bright in the sense it's very reddish. Yeah, it's reddish.
Yeah, very reddish. Yeah.
And it looks perfect. So it's not that typical gloom of a gold watch. It's a very decent color.
With dark blue, what do you have as dials on your screen?
Dark blue,
yes.
And a very nice matching alligator strap on it. A very beautiful watch, honestly. Yeah.
That is a classic. You know, when in 1950 the Panerai team has developed this the 1312. The idea is that in 2020 we create this watch, which will still be here in 2090.
And this is also limited edition, or is this regular?
No, it will be limited quantities. We will not bring huge quantities on that one, but it will be a long-lasting model.
Staying in the collection, but limited by production each year.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
So you're not flooding the markets.
No, not really.
Good.
Not really.
I see.
The one I wanted also to speak to you is about the prima assoluta. You know, that part of the Panerai concept of laboratorio di idee. To be able to enrich it each year, it's to come either with new movements, new experiences, or new materials. This year, we have this Fibratech, which is a new generation of fiber, directly inspired by the world of sea. Building super yacht has inspired us to develop that model. And this has a two-tone, which is something rather new for Panerai because we haven't worked very often with two different colors, two different materials. And you have this watch, which I have the chance to wear today, which is this Carbotech bezel on a Fibratech case.
Show it in the camera, please.
So if you see it here, you have this watch with this blue strap, which is also something which is environment free because we are reusing PET bottles to develop these straps. So these are some of the examples of what are the highlights of Panerai this year, which again has a big focus on our best-selling line, which is Luminor.
I just opened the picture of the watch you're wearing, and I must say this watch, yes, really has a lot of sex appeal for me. Because it is bringing together some of my personal favorite colors, and I am someone. I just said this to Davide Zerato last couple of days ago. I only wear gray, black, and blue. So I have no green, no brown in my wardrobe, nothing. And this watch would be the only watch so far I know that will really fit with everything I have.
Yes, everything you have. That's good.
In one watch.
Well, you have all the ingredients of what make Panerai successful. You have, of course, the case. You have the creativity, and you have this innovation capacity of the brand. We believe in Panerai that it's part of our mission to try to bring each year a material which is new for the watch industry. And we have in our pipeline of new models a couple of projects to be able to honor this promise, which is to bring one new material each year for the years to come.
And I imagine it's a very light watch.
So it's very light, very resistant. Like all what we do, we don't bring new materials because they don't exist. We bring new materials because they have an added value for our customers. On this one, again, is something which is extremely light to wear. You know, our watches are rather big. This is a 44 millimeter, but it's something which is very easy to wear, which you can use on the weekend with sportswear, or you can use during the week with a suit.
True. Either black or gray or blue.
Yes.
Yep. So let me quickly go through some of the other pictures I have here. Is there anything else we are talking about, or would you say?
But it's a new way for us to communicate with this digital watches and wonders. It's very unusual because we have been used for many years to have spectacular Panerai worlds where we were unveiling some innovations. So this year we are first one doing that digital. And we unveil only 5 pieces. So you are used to see much more innovations when you are coming at these big shows. But we'll keep all our communities alerted that we'll have many more to come up to the 31st of December. But mostly around the Luminor theme.
Yes, and I hope that we will then be able to meet again.
Physically.
To first work and then go out for a nice dinner or lunch, whatever it will be.
Will be my pleasure to welcome you in Switzerland.
Yes, and I promise I will bring some Corona with me.
That's good. But
the real Corona, not the fake that is around everywhere. I will bring the real Corona. And we put in
you are more than welcome to visit us in Geneva or Neuchâtel. Two locations you know pretty well.
I know, and I'm looking forward also to continue our project that we had in terms. We succeeded very much with the video. You remember about the Bronzo? The video is one of our best videos we ever did, I have to say, and people very much look it also these days. It's one of the videos that is the most viewed, together with some others, and I hope that
also internally, you know, this video has been shown to many people also internally, because we have some of our markets or newcomers to our company in some of our countries who don't necessarily come to the manufacturer in the next week when they join our brand, which saw your video, to be able to learn what are the mysterious principles behind the Bronzo development.
There's no mysteries. It's just a lot of skills, a lot of watchmaking, case making. Yes, it's still the mankind is everywhere. Even if you see a lot of machines, but it's still it is brain, hands. It is this legendary feu sacré, as we say in French, that holy grail. One generation gives the next one, and then they understand how the thing works. And this is part of it.
I can tell you, I'm sure your report was contributing to that our Bronzo is still not available today, and it's however one of the most successful products this year again. I mean, in 2019, of what we have been achieving.
It's very polite of saying this. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
I'm happy. Yeah.
Thank you.
Jean-Marc, stay safe and sound. That's
you too.
the most used phrase these days. Yes. And let's really sincerely hope that we meet very soon again.
Yes.
And
all my thoughts go to all the ones who are blocked somewhere in the world, and hopefully are not in hospital. And soon we'll be able to return to a normal life.
Life has to come back to normality, and we human have to win this, I don't want to say battle, but this challenge. We have to be tougher, because the virus is smart, very smart, I have to say. The way it is spreading and the way it is acting, I have to say, very smart. For something that is so tiny. Oh, wow.
Of course.
Okay, but we have to be smart, and we will win.
Thank you, Alexander, for your time. Thank you for your, again, interest and strong knowledge of our brand, and hope to see you and welcoming you in Switzerland very soon.
I can only say I thank you, and I'm looking forward.
Thank you so much.